Hello, I'm Shane in Sweden, and we're going to start the development of our intrusion detection system, the Turin IDS. Okay, so we have to sort of think of what tests we're going to use to drive our development right now, and I think we'll start with, well, we've got two areas, main areas. We've got sensors, and we've also got, that'll do, sensor modes. Right, so what does our sensor do? A sensor is either an online sensor, where it's actually capturing network traffic live, or it's an offline sensor where it's receiving information from a database or file or another external source. Okay, so a sensor receives information. Network information through some way, right? Then it either then if checks information against a rule set, and if there is a match, it generates an alert. Okay, so we need to configure the sensor as well. Okay, so I think that's enough for the moment. We also probably want to just rename this to sensor tests, and I'll rename in the class as well. Yes, we got that right. So an important bit when we're building any system is to try protect, define, and separate areas of volatility. And basically what I mean by that is that we want to encapsulate and identify areas which are likely to change. So what we want to do is be able to handle change in the future without actually having to change our basic design. And I think obviously we can see here's one area that's going to be a major source of change. The different way we receive information. For example, we're going to use sharp capture here to capture data, but that may change. We may use another package in the future. We may be reading information from log files. We may actually be reading information over the internet or from the cloud. This is very likely to be an area where it's going to see a lot of change in the future. So we want to build our design so that the system can handle change very easily. And obviously, I think it's clear that even here, the rules, how we identify something to give an alert, that's obviously also going to change. So if we start here with the first bit, information, a sensor receives network information. And let's start by spelling that correctly. There, that's good. Okay, so if we look at our information sources, that would be a good start. Our information sources. So let's create sensor with information source. Normal data and counts information items correctly. Okay, that's a very long name, but we'll fix that later on. Okay, so we want to create a sensor, so we're going to have our sensor, and that will be, we're going to have a substitute for, and we're going to have a substitute for iSensor interface, which doesn't exist at the moment. Okay. Then we want to set the information source. Let's create an information source. Information source. Substitute for network traffic information source. And then we're going to set the Okay, so we're setting it to the information source. Right, we've done that. And this is our range. In this case, we'll actually just have an assert. We're going to assert or equal sensor dot information source dot count. Set that equal to 3. And under the range, we need to information source add network message. Okay. I guess that could be an act. So we've got created a nice sensor. We've created an network information source. And we've added some network messages to our information source. And then we're just going to check the counts. So we're ready to roll here a bit. We can create an interface iSensor. That's good. Then we want to create network traffic. That's good. And we want to create a method. And here we need to create a property. And then we need to create okay, so we created a few interfaces here. We've created some methods and properties. Now, at the moment, these are just sitting in our class. Obviously, we're going to move them to where they should probably sit later on. But for the purposes of our quick getting up running a test, it's okay for them to sit here for now. We're just going to do the minimum code to get our unit test up and running. So here we can, in our information source dot buffer count, using our end substitute, we can get it to fake a return 3. Yes, okay. And now we can run our test. There, got a green test. So we've got our first test up and running on our project, and we've started to flesh out the interfaces we're going to use in our sensors. Okay, I think that's enough for the moment for this video. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next part.